Oh, those fellows have made a fabulous success.
Yes, and one of their biggest hits was Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
Oh, yes, and I have that one right here. Let's give it a spin.
Get out in that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans.
In this segment with the interview with Marshall Lytle from 2012, he talks about how he first heard of Elvis Presley and how the band developed their legendary athletic stage show with Bill Haley and the Comets. When the band started to do more of the rhythm and blues and the rock and roll repertoire, were you or anyone else in the band bothered that the repertoire was now shifting in this direction, people's roles? I mean, the steel player had less to do. Maybe some people said, oh, I prefer, country music. Was there any kind of tension about the
None whatsoever, because we were all on a big high because we were working in big venues.
Yeah.
And when you're playing to 10,000 people, it's a lot easier than playing to 10 or 20 people in a bar.
Right.
So we were just very excited about our newfound success with hit records. I remember the first time I ever heard Elvis Presley's name was in 1955 in Richmond, Virginia. We were playing, and we had 17,000 people in an auditorium, a big arena, and the A&R man from Decca Records for that area was in our dressing room, and he says, hey, there's a kid down here playing in the theater that's driving the young girls crazy. He drives a pink Cadillac, and he's got some bodyguards around him and everything, and he says his name is Elvis Presley. And we all looked at each other, what the hell is an Elvis Presley? We had never heard the name before.
For sure, and it's an unusual.
Yeah, it was an unusual name, and then things kept going on and on and on, and Bill and the Comets did a movie that was never shown, and Elvis was in it.
Hmm.
It was produced by Bill Randall of Cleveland,
yes,
Cleveland, Ohio, and it was called The Pied Piper of Cleveland.
Has it not shown up again?
Never shown up. It was shown one time to the audience at the Brooklyn High School where the movie was shot, and it was never seen again. And there's been rumors going around that Colonel Parker bought it and destroyed it.
Ah, jeez.
Because Elvis wasn't the star.
Right.
He was last on the billing.
Right. When Elvis did show up and have his success, did it affect the Haley organization in terms of, we should sing more like this, or now we should change, or was there any kind of sense?
No, there really wasn't any of that kind of discussion other than here's a new star on the horizon, and he's taking our thunder. Mm-hmm. And he's a young, good-looking guy that all the girls went crazy over, and you know how he got his style. He was a very nervous young man. When he sang, his leg shook, from nerves.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, and one day when he was singing, and he turned to Scotty Moore and he says, "What the hell are they screaming at?" and Scotty Moore says, "Well, I don't know, but just keep it up."
Well, country singers and Elvis was positioned in the country market at the beginning.
Yes.
Some of the first shows he played on was full of other country singers.
Sure.
The country singers traditionally didn't really move. They stood pretty stock still, except for Hank Williams, who did a little dip in his knee.
Yeah, that's correct. That's very correct. Yeah.
But you became very athletic.
Well, and that was by accident. The saxophone player, when we started working together in Wildwood, New Jersey, we'd do a matinee in the afternoon. In this very casual clothes, and some of them had their bathing suits on from the beach and everything. So, and one day we were playing an instrumental, and Joey, the saxophone player, jumped off the stage and down in the aisle, and he's honking at everybody, and I looked and I says, well, maybe I could do something with the bass and get some attention with it. So I stood up on the bass, and the audience went crazy. And then And then he'd get up on the chairs and honk at people, and I'd lay down on my back with the bass on my feet, and then I'd lay on it and play it like a guitar, and every time I'd do something, they'd go crazy. So we created an entire show with that kind of antics, and it became very, very popular with Bill's band, and when we jump off the stage and get down into the audience, it was very memorable for a lot of people.
Had you ever seen anybody do that before?
No, I never did. It became a lot of fun, and I am so thrilled that many bass players around the world are
they picked up on it.
Picked up on it, and they're keeping that going. And I have signed a lot of bass fiddles, and I'm so pleased that they want my signature on their instrument, you know.